Okay, guys, today is your lucky day because we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. This is IELTS Speaking, Part 1, Q&A, question and answers. And this is topic number 16, learning languages. We have five questions as usual. I'm going to read the questions and give sample answers to these questions. If this is the first time here, make sure that you visit our Alice Speaking Part 1 playlist together with other playlists that we're looking forward to sharing them in the future. Um, let's get started. Question number one. What languages do you speak? Well, I speak about seven languages, and my first language is English and Swahili as a bilingual, and later learned Turkish. This is my third language. The fourth one is Spanish, then Chinese, then Italian, and Portuguese. Those are my main seven languages that I'm fluent at. But I'm also intermediate at Russian and German. So that makes it nine, but usually I go with seven because I'm much more confident and more fluent and more comfortable in these seven languages. Why are you learning English? Obviously, I'm teaching it. So for you, if I were to answer your this question in accordance to what you're supposed to be saying, I would say I'm learning English because I'm preparing for my IELTS speaking exam, and probably I need English in general in my life. It's the international, that single language that could help to connect you internationally. So if you want to work with the global markets or with the international people, having international interactions, English is your main tool. So there are many reasons for why I could be learning English, but right now, my very specific reason for learning English is passing the IELTS exam. Question number three, what do you find most difficult about learning a new language? I think the most difficult thing is lacking the opportunity to practice because when you learn a language, just like other skills, you have to implement it. Even though we have the internet nowadays, we have applications such as Tandem, where you could go and practice. We have Tandem and HelloTalk. I think those are the most popular ones where you could go and practice with native speakers. But it doesn't feel the same as actually meeting these people. And traveling to different countries is very limited. It's very expensive for most people, and most people have jobs. They need to be in their jobs in daily basis. So learning a language just to travel for 2 weeks in another country, whereby they probably won't be able to go, is actually not very motivating. And the pleasure of learning a language is usually being able to communicate with other people. But some people have different interests, such as watching movies in the original language. So the more they know about the language, the more comfortable they are. But being able to enjoy a movie at in the first language is an ultimate level, of the language skills. Otherwise, you just be assuming that you understand everything, but not. I remember when I was learning Turkish, I was spending almost all summers for 4 or 5 years watching a lot of Turkish series. And I don't think that was the best way. I wish I could be reading books instead. But I had to immerse myself so deeply, even though I was living in Turkey. But still, I needed more and more practice. So mastering a language is something that, it's very, very difficult. And when somebody tells you they're fluent in seven languages, it means they are very hardworking people and they are very persistent, they're very passionate, maybe a little bit crazy. But most of the people they claim to know many languages because they can speak maybe at the very basic level. But when it comes to someone who is serious and they know the difficultness of mastering a language and how much time is required to put in that language before you master it, they totally appreciate your efforts, and I think it's an amazing thing to have. Question number four: what helps you the most when learning a language? I think it has always been apps. I've never had the opportunity to travel to all the countries that I've learned their languages. I'd love to be in China one day. That would be like a great use of my Chinese skills. But I sometimes listen to Chinese podcasts, trying to read books, and um, trying to watch movies. Well, I'm not a big fan of Chinese movies; they're not the best out there. But I think applications has helped me a lot. The internet itself, being able to communicate with the people from different parts of the world, especially from China, has helped to open more doors for practicing. It's a little bit more complicated, or it used to be more complicated in the past, whereby people had to actually meet in person or go to that country in order to practice the language. But nowadays, it's much more easier, even though it's not 100% experience. But it's something. So I think applications help me a lot. Also, videos like this one, the ones that have been shared on YouTube. I took advantage of. I think my favorite series is or was Happy Chinese. I used to love that. It's really funny and it's very easy to understand for beginners. It's an amazing way of learning the language and many other different resources. So yeah, I would say like yeah, online resources have always helped me a lot. Question number 5: would you like to learn another language in the future? Well, for now, I'm okay. I know it's really funny because a lot of people think after learning 7 languages, maybe you always want to add a new language. But if you really want to master the languages, you kind of like need some time to digest, to be better and to be sure. And sometimes I have thought of, what, I can only give up on some of them and remain with a few of them that I can actually speak in daily basis, which is also very difficult because living in a country, if you're not living in a country that speaks 4 languages, for example, I think I'm not very sure if it's the Swiss people have this advantage. There is this country where they speak like 4 languages at the same time, like Italian, German, English, and French, I think, kind of. So if you're living in that kind of country, you have an opportunity to probably speak all languages. I had this opportunity when I was in the pandemic periods where I had many friends who were living with me in the same place, like locked in together because of the uh, curfew during the pandemic. So these people were coming from different nationalities. So I had a chance of speaking like 6 languages in the same day, which was like, wow, what a coincidence. So that happened, but under normal circumstances in the normal world, you can speak at most 2 or 3 languages, in the same country, unless you actively look out for people who can communicate in those other languages. Or maybe if you have a partner whom you are learning together, let's say if you learn Spanish, they also learn Spanish. If you learn Italian, they also learn Italian. Then you can always speak different languages that you understand. So that is also, a big lap and a beautiful way to cooperate when you're learning a language for the first time. So that being said, I think I'm going to leave you here today. If you want to learn languages and you want to know more about learning languages, leave a comment. I can leave you my contacts. Probably you can reach me, and somehow we can discuss more about how you can learn more languages and how you can improve your English faster. With that being said, I'm wishing you all the best. Keep on practicing, keep on grinding, don't give up. Practice is your best friend. After listening to this audio here, after learning how the questions are supposed to be answered, go and try to answer them by yourself. Don't be afraid. Just take that step and speak. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. If you don't, you're never going to get there. So don't wait for tomorrow. Try and start speaking today. Best of luck.